Paolo and Costanza, of course, they have an Italian father who's very anti-fascist, and he's disappeared. He's working underground, and nobody knows where he is, not even them, because it would be too dangerous for them to know where he is. So they're managing as best they can. Rosemary, their mother, is an English woman, and of course she's really the enemy. Her husband is Italian, and she's Italian only by marriage. So although she's very well liked locally through her work at the church and so on, she still has to keep a low profile. And the Gestapo are strong in the city, and the Italian chief of police doesn't like the Gestapo boss. I mean, so there's a lot of tensions going on within the city at that time. When Paolo goes into Florence on his bicycle, it's quite an adventure because it's all blacked out. There are German patrols patrolling the city, could get stopped, and it's a place of darkness. It's difficult to imagine now. Florence now full of tourists and shops and cafes and so on, but then it would have been very quiet, very little happening. Everybody indoors at night because it would probably be a curfew. So he was taking quite a risk in going in there on his bicycle. Costanza has got very few friends because of her mother's situation, her mother being English, her father being away heaven knows where, and the city being occupied, but still German occupied. They're having to keep a very low profile, and she hasn't really, a lot of the people have gone away anyway to avoid the fighting. So she's terribly isolated, and she's got this one friend, Hilaria, who's a kind of friend that she doesn't really terribly like her, but she's her only friend, so they stick together. But Hilaria's family are very pro-Mussolini, the Italian dictator, and so they're politically divided. And Hilaria's a very different kind of girl. And of course, because they are a pro-fascist family, they get clothes and food on the black market, so they haven't got much trouble about having nice things. And Costanza's family would be unthinkable for her to buy things on the black market. So Hilaria is the kind of girl that in any circumstances you might be a bit fed up with as a friend. Paolo and Costanza are missing their father terribly, and I think they also resent him being away because, you know, it's all very well him being a hero, but what they really want is for him to be right there with looking after them. They feel very responsible for their mother. They can't rebel in the kind of way that maybe they would like to do. They've got to behave well, and so they're in a very strained and quite heroic situation. I think Paolo isn't really a hero on a bicycle, but I think somebody once said, you know, heroism is ordinary people doing ordinary things under very, very difficult circumstances, and that's what they're doing.